different. I tell you,
At first, like we had them.
Here, let me stab you.
Could I have everybody's attention? We're going to start the citizen forum. Look at the bulletin board for rules of conduct for citizen forum. It will be in effect tonight. Starting the citizen forum, the first person, Debbie Hugan, come to the podium. State your name and address for the record, please.
Good evening, everybody. I'm here tonight to touch on something about codes and trashiness in our neighborhoods and things looking like shantytown when we don't follow codes and don't follow the ordinances. We're trying to build the neighborhood up and make it look a lot nicer so our home values will keep going up. Right now, THDA has offered $15,000 because we're in a kind of a bad area. And that doesn't make me happy as a real estate agent, but they're trying to help people move into the area by giving them $15,000 to help them buy houses to kind of pump our values up, which I can promise you our values are going up. They're soaring up. And you can't even list anything and keep it on the market for more than a day without getting multiple offers. Now, my concern is I own a house here, and it's my primary home, and it's my primary investment. And I have some wonderful neighbors all up and down my street and behind me that I've known for years and wouldn't take anything for them. But I've got this one person that has chosen over the years to violate an ordinance about the side setback line. And it makes it look from my backyard like shantytown out there. It's also a safety issue. If people are running from the police, it's a perfect little area to hide between my fence and those two 30-feet length of buildings. And it's scary, you know. Thank God I've got a gun, but it's scary having that over there. And I want the city to know how important the ordinances and the codes and the setback lines are that are in our zoning book. They're all there for a reason. If it's not a safety reason, it's a reason to protect property values around you. And I mean, if I wanted to put up a 40-foot building beside my yard on my neighbor's, facing my neighbor's side yard, I mean, that would be an injustice to that neighbor. It would be wrong of me because I'm going to hurt their property values. As a real estate agent, for over 22 years, I can tell you that will hurt people's property values when people come to look at your house and they see violations. And if you change the law to allow people that were illegal to begin with to be legal by grandfathering them in, which you can't grandfather in something that's already been illegal, because these houses were built in 1995. The buildings weren't in till sometime mid-2000s. So the ordinance have been, in fact, in existence since at least 1990. So you can't make something that's always been illegal, legal, and grandfather it in. It has to have already been in existence before the ordinance, and that's not the case. So what I'm asking, I know there's people lobbying you and lobbying the Planning Commission to make exceptions. Don't make exceptions. It ruins our neighborhood. Thank you.
Thank you. Next will be Mary Jane Skinner.
Name's Mayor Jane Skinner. I reside at 792 Stones River Road. Have been there since 1958. Have not had very much problems. Here lately, I know progress has to move on, but we're having a problem at our house and my son's house where they're grading or grounding the rocks. There is a white film all over our house, our cars, in our houses. I have been to the doctor and the ER since February when they started burning the trees and things like that. I went back again yesterday. My lungs are still not clear. She suggested that I put a filter, another filter on my air conditioning unit. I told her I couldn't afford it. And if I did not have Medicare and TRICARE, I could not afford the medication that I have to take. And I'm not one for taking medicine. Yesterday, my bottle of medicine, and this is with Medicare and TRICARE paying for it, out of my pocket, I had to pay $50. That's $50 I really don't have to spend all the time. And I just wondered if there wasn't an ordinance on trying to do something about that. It's just very, very upsetting. And another thing, what time can they start working and what time can they stop working? I can understand starting at 7 o'clock in the morning, that's great. But stop working at 8 o'clock in the evening? I don't think so. When I go out in the yard, I have to wear a mask, and I shouldn't have to. And another thing, and this will be for Chief Walker. I called the police department the other evening, Sunday afternoon, and the dispatcher had trouble hearing me, and I had trouble hearing the dispatcher because she kept breaking up. And she was having to repeat, and I was having to repeat what was going on. So I didn't know if it was something with the PA, with the radio system, or what it is. But anyway, that's what I've got to say. But my main concern is the rock crushing. I know they have to dig those rocks to get the lines through for the sewage and the water, but I'm sure paying for it. Thank you.
Thank you. Next on the list is Courtney Wilson.
Hey, my name is Courtney Wilson. I am with Big Brothers Big Sisters, and just wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about kind of who we are, what we do, but also the impact that we have in Middle Tennessee and hopefully we can have here in Laverne. So for those of you that may not be familiar, Big Brothers Big Sisters is the nation's largest, longest serving youth mentoring program. And we really focus on one-on-one mentoring. We work with some of the best parents in Middle Tennessee. They often are single parents. They're working 2-3 jobs just trying to make ends meet. But they still take the time to reach out to us and to search out resources for their kids that need it. And so that's a place that we have served really well in Davidson County. We are Big Brothers Big Sisters of Middle Tennessee, though. And so one of the things that we're seeing is a lot of the families that we have served traditionally are moving outside of Davidson County. And so as a volunteer coordinator and as a child recruiter, one of the things that I really want to do is build relationships with other communities outside of Davidson County, other counties outside of Davidson where we know our kids are and where we know we want to serve them. We do that in 2 different ways. So we do it through our school-based program. We have several schools, both in Davidson County, also out here in Rutherford County, where really all a volunteer has to do is go spend 1 hour a week during the school week with a child mentoring them. They can play games that we provide on the school premise. They can read, they can work on homework, they can go shoot hoops, they can play on the playground. Then we also have a community-based program, which again is still just 1 hour a week, but instead of them meeting in the school, they have the opportunity to meet at the house and go out in the community and do activities, whether it's taking a child out to eat to a restaurant they've never been to before, taking them to, again, we get a lot of free tickets. There's so many ways to build relationships, and what we're seeing is that there's such a need in the Laverne area for mentors, quite frankly. We have more kids that are on wait lists than we do adult volunteers that are willing to serve. And I know that in no way is that actually accurate. I know that there's plenty of really great people out in this area who would be more than willing to spend an hour a week with a child who really deserves it. And so I'm here just to kind of make that aware, make that known. I'm the one that meets with different companies, that meets with individuals who are interested either in volunteering as a big brother, as a big sister, who maybe has a company where I could come and speak during lunchtime. I'll buy everybody lunch and talk about ways to get involved. So just know that we, as an organization, really want to live in Laverne, and we want to support your kids, we want to support your families, and we know that there's a lot of great volunteers. So my hope is that as you're looking at community resources, realize that we are here, that Big Brothers Big Sisters is here, that we want to live into this space more than we have in the past, and that we're looking forward and we're really excited to it. Thanks.
Thank you. That ends the citizens forum. I want to say that Officer Fessmeyer and Eubanks will be the Sergeant of Arms tonight. We like about 30 seconds being 7 o'clock, so we're going to start the meeting right at 7 o'clock, and appreciate everybody showing up tonight. I know it's an off night. It's Thursday night instead of Tuesday night because of National Night Out, but I appreciate everybody coming out on an off meeting night. This happens once a year, but I appreciate everybody coming out and being with us tonight. We've got some important items on the agenda, and we like about 3 seconds. All right, it's 7 o'clock, and we're going to start the Board of Mayor and Aldermen August 3rd, 2017 regular meeting. I call this meeting to order. We do have a quorum. I've got the prayer. The Pledge of Allegiance is with Alderman Brown. Please stand. God, our Heavenly Father, thank you for allowing us to assemble in this building free of choice and praise what's great. Pray for all of the fine men and women across this nation that is keeping us safe and keeping this city strong and on the right track. Help comfort the needy. Pray for the safety of our school children as they start the new year. Pray for the Puckett and the Beatty family for their loss. Father, by your grace, care, spirit, peace, and comfort, and your loving presence, in Jesus' name, amen. Take the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First on the order of business, we need to approve the minutes for June 29th, 2017 special meeting and July 6th, 2017 regular meeting. Need a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to.
Got a motion to approve. Need a second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Hearing no one opposed, the minutes is approved 5-0. Now we're down to department reports. First is fire department. Ricky?
Mayor, Alderman, for the month of July 2017, we had a total of 281 calls. Those consisted of 3 structure fires, 26 fire alarms, 4 vehicle fires, 2 grass fires, 3 hazardous materials calls, 28 motor vehicle accidents, 181 medical calls, 5 canceled en route, 29 miscellaneous calls, and 650 hydrant refurbishments, and 23 fire inspections. Average response time for the month of July 2017 is 3.4 minutes, and our total water consumption for the same month was 55,000.
The water consumption seemed like a little bit high. Is that right? Is that a little bit high?
Yes, sir. We've had several structure fires. As you can see, there were 3 here in this report, and most of that water will be due to that. We did have a water day too, I think. Chris, did you have this time? I had to follow. Didn't we have a water day during this too, I think? Yeah. So we've had.
It should be in the package.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you, Ricky.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Next will be police. Chief Walker.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Alderman, you see the calls for service for the month of July, the 3,852 is 15% more than the 3,350 for July last year. So calls for service, total calls for service continue to be a little higher, but not as bad as it was for a while. They slowed down slightly. And then for the year-to-date, calendar year-to-date, 26,132 compared to the 22,209 is 17.7% higher. Right now, we're still on track for about 45,000 calls for service this year. I have to say thank you to a whole lot of people, to our folks that were there at LPD, LFD, Parks and Rec, Public Works, and I'm not going to go on into all the others, but I am going to say thank you to all my counterparts and their personnel throughout the city, because we had what I think is the best NNO since I've been here. And Shree worked really hard to get a lot of people there and a lot of participants. And we talked about a lot of different things. We had a lot of businesses that historically have not been involved. We had, I believe it was 6 houses of worship that were represented there from throughout our community, and that was awesome. We had so many civic groups who were there, but the municipal employees who were there and a part of it helped make it what it was. And hopefully next year it'll be even bigger and better. But I say thank you to all our folks who were there, from the City of Laverne employees who were there and worked so hard. Good Lord blessed us with cooler weather. It was still a little warm, but it was a lot better than it was last year anyway. Any questions?
Yeah, it was a good turnout. I think one of the best turnouts that I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
Everything went good. Everybody had a good time. And you mentioned the call rates. I think a lot of people got mixed up. I've got a few calls about the number of calls. The number of calls is up, but first 6 months compared to the first 6 months of last year,
That's
the crime is down, and it surprised me being down 38.9%. That is just unreal. But
it is, and some of our serious calls are still there, but the majority of the things that we respond to, other than domestic calls, they're still there and always will be, and that's happening everywhere in Middle Tennessee. But some of our most serious calls are because of folks coming from somewhere else here. And we had, in less than 3 days, just a hair over 2 days last year, we had 5 foot pursuits of people committing some very serious crimes. And there were a total of 11 that were captured and charged with those violations. Most of them didn't live here. The overwhelming majority didn't live here.
thank you, Chief. You're doing a great
Yes, sir.
job.
Thanks, sir.
Down to Codes Department, Randolph.
Evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Alderman. The monthly report for July 2017, there were 31 single-family dwelling permits issued. There were 8 commercial permits issued for the month. We had 14 miscellaneous permits. There was 1 sign permit. Others, to include additions and remodels, there were 10. Our commercial plan review, there were 6. Our total number of permits for the month were 64 at an evaluation of $5.8 million. Plumbing permits, there were 32 single-family dwelling. There were 2 commercial. Mechanical permits, there were 32. There was 1 commercial. Our tall grass for the month was 234 calls. Junk cars in the yard, there were 48. Others, there were 51. Building inspections on the month, there were 369. Our impact fees for the month were total $73,410. The year-to-date totals have been $753,666. Total number of single-family permits issued year-to-date have been 150. Total number this time last year was 81. Overall, there's been 370 permits issued year-to-date. Any questions?
Thank you, Randolph.
Thank you, sir.
Doing a good job as always. We're down to Park and Rec, AC Davis.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Alderman. There are numbers for the month. As y'all know, we've been extremely busy with the renovation of the Civic Auditorium for the fire department. And I want to touch on what Chief Walker was saying. That was one of the better national night outs we'd seen. Number-wise, it looked like an old timers festival, pretty much. That's how many people were out there. And it really was, it came together. And I can't sing my guys' praise enough. I mean, they bend over backwards, and they just like a well-oiled machine. They know what needs to be done and where it needs to be done. And the communication with Cherie was good, and it was a really good event, I thought. Some of our things we have coming up, we got a Parks Recreation Advisory Committee meeting on the 21st of this month at 6, and then a Senior Citizens Advisory Committee meeting on the 17th at 4. Also, some upcoming events. We got a drive-in on the 25th, and it's not on the paper, but it is going to be a Smurf movie of some kind. So Julie's in charge of that, and I think there are several of those out there, but it's the newer one. So it should be really good. And then, of course, we're getting ready for Old Timers Festival and looking forward to our Greenway opening up here pretty soon. So anybody got any questions?
No, I noticed even the 4th of July deal.
Wow.
It was just, that seemed like old timers with a crowd of people.
Yeah.
And if we can just get a event with no rain,
Well, like you
we'll
said,
knock it out of the park.
Like you said, it's maybe our luck's turning around. We've had a couple of good ones in a row, so keep your fingers crossed.
Thank you, AC.
Yeah.
Now we're down to finance. Phyllis?
Good afternoon, Mayor and Alderman. Tonight's financial report is for the month of June, which is our last month of our fiscal year. These are preliminary numbers because the auditors are not done with the audit. The auditors will probably do a presentation in December when they complete the full audit. As of right now, on the general fund, revenues have exceeded expenditures by approximately $4 million. Local sales tax, we've collected approximately $7.6 million this year, which is about $2.1 million better than last year. $2.1 million better than what we budgeted, and about $1.8 million better than last year. State Street aid, the expenses exceeded revenues by approximately $48,000. Stormwater fund revenues exceeded expenditures by approximately $174,000. And in our water sewer fund, revenues exceeded expenditures by approximately $5 million, $5.1 million. For the general fund, the biggest portion that makes up our revenues being over expenses is the additional property tax we collected, which is about $100,000. Local sales tax was approximately $2.1 million. We collected $300,000 more in business tax this year. Building permits, we collected about $200,000 more. In our state sales tax, we collected about $500,000 more. In our court fines, we collected approximately $100,000 more. And in our insurance recoveries, we collected approximately $100,000. The second page represents the balances in our bank accounts. And the third page is a comparison to prior year. For the revenues for the general fund, they are up about $4.1 million. Expenses are also up about $1.1 million. In the water sewer fund, revenues are up about $3 million, and expenses are up about $526,000. Tap fees are also up about $310,000. Any questions?
Thank you, Phyllis. Good job. Everything looks good in the finance department. Now we're down to the library. Donna. And Donna, we're going to I let everybody know, Donna, that today is your birthday.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And congratulations on your 29th birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate that. No, I'm going to wear it well. I'm 60 today, so I'm going to embrace that. All right, for the month of July, the attendance in the library was 8,558 with an average of 342. We issued 166 new library cards. We circulated 9,468 items, and we had 2,460 computer users. We were in the middle of summer reading, so we had a total between the children, the teen, and the adult, 42 programs with an attendance of 1,117. We were very proud of that. We had 842 that signed up to read this summer. In our library news, Rutherford County Adult Education is continuing to partner with our library, and they provide classes for adult education and for English students of other languages. Now, the classes are now available year-round. They did in the past go from September into May, but they have been merged in with the workforce, and so they are going year-round now, and we provide a room for them to have those classes. Motlow State Community College is going to begin a 2-year partnership with us on August the 28th, and we're going to provide much-needed classroom space for them Monday through Thursday. They will be having 16 classes a week there. So we're very excited about the people that's going to be filtering in and out of the library. All right, everyone. The solar eclipse is on its way. We are going to have a viewing party Monday, August the 21st. Someone asked me, are you going to have the party on the day of the solar eclipse? Yes, we are. We really are. We're going to start at about noon in the library gallery. We're going to have some fun eclipse-themed food like moon pies, sun chips, some things like that. We're going to have some cool music like You Are My Sunshine and just some other music to kind of get us in the mood for seeing this once-in-a-lifetime event. We do have solar eclipse viewing glasses, the safe certified ones, available at the library. I did get 500 more pair delivered today, so we do have them there. I encourage everyone to come by and get a pair. And so when the eclipse begins, we're going to move out to the green space between City Hall and the library to view the solar eclipse together. And we do hope that you all can join us. And of course, you can always go to our catalog page to find programs for all ages. Story times will be starting back the last week of August. Any questions?
Thank you, Donna, and happy birthday.
Thank you.
We're down to water treatment plant, Thomas.
Evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Alderman. We have here is our monthly summary for the month of June of this year and then comparatively to 2016. During the month, the plant delivered, my paper's creased, like 122 million gallons of water, close to it. Noteworthy events, the summer pool has been staying level at the lake. We had a couple rises and a couple draws, so it does change our treatment technique when the water moves more, but it's a good thing. We had some visits from our managers and technical services during the month. Rainfall puts us still a little bit below normal for the year, but it's hopefully going to be a wetter summer than it was last year. All of our testing was in compliance. The flushing team visited 57 sites in June, and this is part of our annual flushing that they used up 1.5 million gallons of water during those visits. For the month of June, we had one special sample for the Sanders tank at our lab and 2 fixed line samples for that month. Cross Connection visited 78 sites. Maintenance for the month of June, we did another partial cleaning on the lagoon. And we cleaned some inside clarifiers, the bigger tanks. Our customer service for the month, we had 5 quality calls. One was pressure, 1 was taste and odor, 3 were others. Usually they're dealing with complaints and noise from their meters. Our maintenance for the month was at a little over $5,700. Let's leave a balance for the contract year at $64,226. Our training for the month was on emergency operations and some of the plans we had. We're fully staffed, 10 folks at the plant. And looking ahead, we're doing the roofing work is really underway. I think they're running into a couple of snags, but they've got everything delivered and got us in a construction mode there. Looks like camping time. That's about the summary for June.
Any questions for Thomas? Thank you, Thomas. Now we're down to Public Works. That's Garland Russell. You're filling in,
Yes, sir.
Michael, for
Yes, sir.
Garland?
Filling in again this month. Good afternoon, Mayor and Alderman.
You're pinch hitting.
For the month of July 2017, the street department looks like they had 47 brush removal request calls. Brush removal pickups were 778. Removal loads were 49. Looks like brush removal pounds was 142,540. The workhouse hour program was 503 total for the month. They completed 105 work orders with 31 hours overtime. Their on-call personnel had 11 hours overtime. Vehicle repairs, there were 45. They were able to complete 43 of those in-house, had to outsource 2 of them. Oil changes for the month were 22. They had 7 tire jobs and 4 brake jobs. Total equipment repair for the month was 10 with 29 and a half hours overtime. Also, I know Garland probably wanted to mention that they were able to fill the mechanic position this month as well. They actually had a transfer from one of the guys out of the sewer department, Mr. Philip Sanderson. They got a real good employee right there and an even better person, so I think they're going to be really satisfied.
Thank you, then we'll move on. This is you for utility, Michael.
Yes, sir. For the month of July, we had in the water department, we had a total of 154 work orders. We did have 2 mainline breaks, repairs 11 service lines. Estimated gallons of water not sold for the month was just at 100,000. Cleanups from those repairs were 8 for the month. Our meter swap outs was able to complete 126, and we did have a total of 45 and a half hours overtime for the month. Sewer department, we had a total of 128 work orders. Service calls were 79, pump stations 49. We had 1 final grinder pump inspection for the month. Our manhole inspections and repairs were 156. The grinder pump rebuilds completed in-house was 4 for the month with a total of 39 hours overtime. Now the new department, the meter and leak detection department that we talked about last month that we recently doing the restructure. We've got some numbers for you this month. They had a total of 480 work orders. The new meter sets were 18 for the month. The Tennessee 1 calls was 275. We were able to locate 14 leaks in-house. Our 1 call personnel is also doing leak detection now. So he has hit the ground running. Really proud of what he's doing. Able to jump on there and find 14 leaks that would otherwise went undetected. It's pretty huge. The industrial meter swap outs for the month were 6. And we had a total of 32 hours overtime in that department.
Any questions for Michael? Michael, appreciate it, and I think since we started that leak detection back in October of I think it was last year.
Last year, yes, sir.
I think we've saved a lot of money.
Yes.
With the lost water.
Yes,
And y'all done a good job. Y'all worked hard and put in a lot of extra hours over there.
Yes, we thank you very much.
Thank you. Now we're down to Human Resources. Cheryl Smith.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Alderman. Here is the report for Human Resources. We had 5 external jobs posted with 239 applicants, 9 actual new hires, and 8 employees promoted. 3 resignations, 0 terminations. There were 7 workers' compensation claims, 2 liability claims. We had a total of 89 care here appointments with 4 no-shows. There are 347 enrollees in the program, and we have 2 short-term disability claims, 1 long-term disability claim, for a total claim dollar amount of $249,100. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Cheryl. Good job.
Thank you.
That ends our department reports. We're down to presentation. We got a security in building presentation from Alderman Calvin Jones.
Thank you, Mayor Ward. I had spoken briefly with the municipal court judge, Highland, on this matter, and I had asked him to come in, and I'm going to let him speak first before I go into my presentation.
I assume I'm supposed to go out there.
Yes, sir.
This is something new.
You're on the other side of the bench.
You need to turn your cellular phone off, and I'll give you extra, more than 3 minutes.
Let me think. Chief, would you turn that off, please? Thank you very much. I appreciate the thought. Mayor, Alderman, Vice Mayor, about 4 years ago, almost to the day, I wrote a letter after a couple of incidents that we had had in our court. Now, as most of you know, if you've been there, hopefully as an observer, not as somebody that sped through a red light, usually we have anywhere upwards of 70 people seated in this room. We had at one time, 4 years ago, we had them seated in the municipal building, or what I enjoyed calling the Zumba room, down there on the other end of the campus. We have had situations where people have shown up. Pardon? Is that me? Okay. People have shown up armed. Now, most of them, we don't know how many have come armed because we have no way of knowing. We know we've caught at least one or two because there was a police officer there, and it was on one of our nights when we have contested hearings, and they saw him with it concealed and were able to take it away from him, and he was arrested. We don't know how many we haven't caught. Now, we're back up in this building. We have large crowds compared to most of the times they have a meeting in here. And those crowds are not usually real happy about being there. I try to make it nice for them, but they just don't seem to enjoy it a lot. When you have mayor and alderman meetings, many times you have a lot of controversy. Tonight, I know we don't have anything bad going on that I can tell, but we've had controversy here. It has in the last several years seemed to be that governmental meetings, judicial meetings, seem to attract violence. It's just that simple. And we are not prepared to stop it. I wrote a letter in June of 2013, I believe, when I had just been here for a year. And I asked for somebody to do something about it. It's pretty simple. We have one door that we don't really have control over. We have control over the back door back here, usually. But we don't have control over the front door. We don't have any kind of detection, anybody there that can see or check when somebody comes in to see if they are armed. It doesn't take much to be armed. You can't tell that somebody's armed usually. They don't just strap it on their hip and walk in. Concealed weapons are easy to conceal. And we need security. Now, folks, I'm only here one night a week for 3 weeks in the month. And so I'm not faced with as much danger as the employees are here, or as the chance of much danger, or you are sitting here right now. We don't know. I mean, these all look like nice folks back here. Except for Miss Huggins. But
And then there's also Chief Walker. We worry about him too. I'm sure he's armed anyway. But they all look like nice people. But you don't know. And the easiest way to do that is to just check everybody when they come in. Once we, of course, in Davidson County, and I think every county in our Middle District of Tennessee, I don't know of any except this county that do not have security for their employees. How many times have you heard somebody at the water department screaming at somebody in there because they're mad because of their water bill? It doesn't take much to go from there to violence, but it's easy to stop. Put a metal detector at the door and put somebody there to man it 24, well, not 24, just every time the door's open to our building. It will repay us 1,000-fold if one person is stopped from committing violence. That's, I know the mayor has asked me about this. He's agreed with me. In fact, he brought it up to me. But I wrote that letter 4 years ago, and nothing has been done. This is the first time, and I thank Alderman Jones for inviting me to come here and speak and putting it on the docket. And I wrote that second letter 4 years later, and I really appreciate the fact that I'm able to sit here or stand here and talk to you. Anybody have any questions at all?
The only thing I've got, we've talked about it a number of times, and we definitely need, we redone the boardroom. I think it's time to up the security, and I mentioned to Bruce a number of times, and I think we are checking into it, but it's well needed. I mean, we definitely need it, and with us redoing the boardroom, it's perfect time to go ahead and install it. Because you're right, I've heard of incidents happen over the past and in city meetings like in Clarksville, and every time you turn the news on, somewhere in the United States, something's happened, gun related or knife related, and you're right, it's just going to be time that it's going to happen here, and so we need to act on it for sure. Like I mentioned to you a few months ago, I'd like to see it happening.
Well, and you bring up a point that I want to bring up with the board and with the mayor and vice mayor. Thank you for the wonderful new courtroom. Although you call it something else, we call it a courtroom. We appreciate it, and I want to keep it safe. Thank you. Anybody else? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Judge. We're going to move down to old business. Go ahead. One more print. Okay.
Deep breath. As Glenn is getting ready there, I'd like for y'all to just reflect on what the judge just said about everyone looks like a nice person, and how you can't tell that someone has a weapon when they're around you because they're concealed. It's the word concealed.
It's the quiet headquarters of the Bay District Schools in Panama City, Florida. Presiding over the meeting, Superintendent Bill Husflett.
I have a motion.
Bill would yield the floor to a madman.
My motion that everybody in this room, behind that counter, hit the road.
The gunman is Clay Duke, a 56-year-old ex-con, self-styled revolutionary conspiracy zealot. Duke's symbol is a spray-painted logo from the movie V for Vendetta. And today he's come to do battle, armed with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun.
You may leave, you may leave.
Dean, he told you
The women can leave. 6 men stay. Everyone else leaves.
But board member Ginger Littleton isn't going down without a fight.
The only weapon of any sort was my purse. And so I decided that the best thing I could do would be to sneak up behind him.
Or didn't have anything to do.
No,
Ginger, no.
Hearts stop. Then the crazed gunman has a moment of mercy.
Ginger. Ginger, go on.
Duke spares Ginger's life. Now Duke takes the floor and explains the motive behind his madness.
Sir, I don't know who you are.
Duke claims his wife was laid off from her job as a teacher, and the school board is to blame.
She worked elementary.
John.
You see, our benefits have run out. See what I'm saying? She was fired.
Then an act of bravery that stuns Bill Husleff's colleagues. The superintendent makes a heart-wrenching sacrifice.
Listen, I'm the one that signed the paper, right? Okay. I don't remember and I don't know who she is. But let them go. I'm the one that did it. I mean, they don't sign the papers. I'm the only one that signs them. Will you let them go?
What does happen next is sheer terror. The deranged gunman takes aim at Bill, and his finger is twitching on the trigger.
This isn't worth it. This is a problem. Please don't. Please don't. Please.
But there's a surprise waiting for Duke right outside the boardroom door. Chief of School Security Mike Jones stands at the ready, locked and loaded. Duke pulls the trigger. Bill Husfeld grabs his chest and goes down. Duke fires again, and Mike strikes back. The madman may be down, but he's not out.
He put the gun to his head and pulled the trigger.
Clay Duke is dead. Then a shocker. The first to raise his head is the one nobody expected to survive.
I saw Superintendent Husfeld stand up, and I thought to myself right then, oh my God, he's alive.
It still amazes me that the suspect was the only person who died that day, especially when you hear that the shot fired at the superintendent struck a 3-inch notebook that he was holding, stopping the bullet. Simply amazing. And you can watch our interview with Mike Jones, the security guard honored for his courage that day. That's on Crime Watch Daily's Facebook page.
Thank you, Glenn. I don't think I need to say anything else. What the judge has said, has shown, says it all. Thank you for your time.
All right. Seeing no more presentation, we're going to do now the old business. I'm going to call the old business. Anybody got any questions, speak up. If not, I'm going to call for a roll call and move on to the next item. Number 4, second reading, ordinance 2017-15, an ordinance to amend Title 10, Chapter 1 of the Laverne Municipal Code by adding a new section 10-105 entitled Removal of the Protection from Animal Excrement. Need a motion to approve or deny this ordinance. Need a motion to approve or deny.
Make a motion to deny.
Got a motion to deny. Need a second.
Second.
Got a second. Alderman Jones.
Aye.
Alderman Brown.
Aye.
Alderman Cole.
No.
Vice Mayor Green.
Aye.
I say aye. Ordinance fails 4-1. Down to number 5, second reading, ordinance 2017-16, an ordinance to amend the fiscal year 2016-2017 general fund budget. Need a motion to approve or deny.
Make a motion to approve.
Got a motion to approve. Need a second.
A second.
Second. Alderman Brown.
Aye.
Alderman Cole.
Aye.
Alderman Joe.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Green.
Aye.
I say aye. Ordinance 2017-16 passes 5-0. Number 6, second reading, ordinance 2017-17, an ordinance to amend the fiscal year 2016-2017 senior citizens fund budget. Need a motion to approve it or not?
Make a motion to approve.
Need a second.
A second.
Alderman Cole.
Aye.
Alderman Brown.
Aye.
Alderman Jones.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Green.
Aye.
I say aye. Ordinance 2017-17 passes 5-0. Number 7, second reading, ordinance 2017-18. Ordinance to amend the fiscal year of 2016-2017 drug fund budget. Need a motion to approve or deny.
Motion to approve.
Need a second?
Second.
Alderman Brown.
Aye.
Alderman Jones.
Aye.
Alderman Cole.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Green. I say aye. Ordinance 2017-18 passes 5-0. We're down to number 8, second reading, ordinance 2017-19. Ordinance to amend the fiscal year 2016-2017 water and sewer fund budget. Need a motion to approve it or not?
Make a motion to approve.
Need a second.
Second.
Alderman Cole.
Aye.
Alderman Brown.
Aye.
Alderman Jones.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Green.
Aye.
I say aye. Ordinance 2017-19 passes 5-0. Number 9, motion to approve agreement with iPro for police department software. And Evan's not here, and this will, if we vote on this tonight, this will be subject to approval by Evan. Need a motion to approve it or not?
Make a motion to approve.
Got a motion to approve, need a second.
Second.
Alderman Brown.
Aye.
Alderman Cole.
Aye.
Alderman Jones.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Green, I say aye.
Aye.
This agreement passes 5-0. Motion to approve, number 10, motion to approve agreement with Agency 360 for the police department software. Need a motion to approve it or not?
Make a motion to approve.
Need a second.
Second.
And this will be also subject to approval by Evan. Alderman Brown.
Aye.
Alderman Cole. Alderman Jones.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Green.
Aye.
I say aye. This motion to approve the Agency 360 for police software passes 5-0. We're down to consent agenda. Need a motion to approve or deny?
Motion to approve.
Got a motion to approve, need a second.
Second.
Alderman Jones.
Aye.
Alderman Brown.
Aye.
Alderman Cole.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Green.
Aye.
I say aye. The consent agenda passes 5-0. Down to new business. First reading ordinance 2017-20. Ordinance to amend the fiscal year 2016-17. This is an equal sharing fund budget. Need a motion to approve or a second.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Need a second.
Second.
Alderman Cole.
Aye.
Alderman Brown.
Aye.
Alderman Jones.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Green.
Aye.
I say aye. Ordinance 2017-20 passes 5-0. Number 13, this is a resolution 2017-16, a resolution of the City of Laverne Board of Mayor and Aldermen to declare property owned by the city to be surplus to the city needs and direct disposal of the same. Need a motion to approve or deny?
Motion to approve.
Got a motion to approve, need a second.
Second.
Alderman Brown.
Aye.
Alderman Cole.
Aye.
Alderman Jones.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Green.
Aye.
I say aye. Resolution 2017-16 passes 5-0. Number 14, Resolution 2017-17, a resolution to authorize the City of Laverne to participate in a TML Risk Management Pool Safety Partners matching grant. Need a motion to approve or deny?
Make a motion to approve.
Need a second.
Second.
Alderman Jones.
Aye.
Alderman Brown.
Aye.
Alderman Cole.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Green, I say aye. Resolution 2017-17 passes 5-0. We're down to number 15. Motion to approve a license agreement with Windstream KDL LLC to construct maintenance, operation, and use fiber optic transcommunication network within a specified portion of the city's right-of-way. Need a motion to approve or deny? Need a motion to approve or deny?
Do we need a discussion first before we make a motion? Or can we get a discussion, do we need to make a motion?
I think you can do it either way.
Okay, I'd like to discuss, I'd just like to ask a question. Is this under the same stipulation once Evan can read it? the city attorney can, since it's an agreement, or
We can make it, we can put it in the, we can make it in the
He's the one
motion.
that wrote it,
he's all, so it's,
yes.
okay, I make a motion to accept.
Accept as permitted.
As submitted.
Got a motion, need a second?
I second.
Alderman Cole?
Aye.
Alderman Brown?
Aye.
Alderman Jones?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Green?
Aye.
I say aye. This motion to approve the license agreement is approved 5-0. We're down to number 16. This is a resolution 2017-18. A resolution to authorize the mayor to enter into a contract for the purchase of real estate property for future Fire Station 1 and headquarters facility. Need a motion to approve or deny.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve, need a second.
Second.
Alderman Jones?
Aye.
Alderman Cole?
Aye.
Alderman Brown?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Green?
Aye.
I say aye. Resolution 2017-18 passes 5-0. Number 17. This is a motion to approve or deny a settlement offered by the Michael Mullins lawsuit. We had a meeting on it earlier today. Need a motion to approve this settlement or deny it.
Motion to deny.
Got a motion to deny it. Need a second.
A second.
Alderman Cole.
Aye.
Alderman Brown.
Aye.
Alderman Jones.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Green.
Aye.
I say aye. The motion to deny the settlement offered by Michael Mullins lawsuit is denied 5-0. Did I say that right, Bruce?
Well, the motion was approved.
Motion to approve to deny it.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's correct.
Okay. Now, we're down to mayor and alderman comments. Alderman Brown?
Just want to thank everyone that came out for a national night out and all those city employees that pitched in to make that a raving success. It was a lot of fun, and there was a lot of people and a lot of smiling faces and a successful campaign on a national night out. And also, I want to wish all the school kids a good school year this year, and all the teachers and staff of the schools as well.
Alderman Cole?
Just want to say thank you to Box 100 for the invitation to see the police department physical training for their new applicants. That's a really amazing thing to see as far as the physical conditioning and testing that they have to go through to be considered. And I also want to thank Thomas and his team for a tour yesterday of the water plant, showing some of the many needs that's going on with that facility. And congratulations to Tyler McCormick for passing his test.
Very happy. He's a happy young man.
Alderman Jones?
I'd like to concur with each one of the other aldermen on everything that's went on. And I'd like to say for myself, it was a very nice, actually it was my first national night out in Rutherford County. And I think it was a very nice experience.
Vice Mayor Green?
I would like to thank the judge for the things that he said to us to open our eyes and be more aware of what's around and what's going on.
Want to remind everybody again about the farmers market every Tuesday that we have between the City Hall and the library. It starts at 3 and ends at 7. The last couple weeks, we've had a real heavy turnout, and they've been stocked up on vegetables, so keep that in your mind on every Tuesday. And then right around the corner, it's Old Timers Day. It's September the 9th. It comes back to the second Saturday in September. It's at Veterans Memorial Park. It starts off at 10 with the parade. We got plenty of free entertainment. We got booths set up with crafts and other stuff, music, food, and we have a carnival. It's activities for old and young. It goes from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free parking and free admission. Hard to find an event with that magnitude that's free parking and free admission. And remember, next week, the school starts. The kids will be standing on the side of the road and look out for the yellow school buses. It's something we hadn't had to deal with for a couple of months. And a new law is now, if you cannot talk on a cell phone within a school zone. So I'm sure somebody will be out checking that, and you don't want to get a ticket for talking on the phone in a school zone. And I want to keep the Puckett family and the Berry family and the Beatty family in our prayers for their loss. With that being said, I'll call this meeting adjourned.